Happening today, a former Hartford police officer charged in the shooting death of a man who was having a mental health crisis in Hartford is expected in court.
This story is sparking a lot of attention and also discussions about how mental health crises should be handled. Your reporter Anna Stansfield live outside the courthouse sharing what we can expect to happen in court today.
Well, today, Joseph Magnano is facing a first-degree manslaughter charge, and since he was first charged, he's been out on a $50,000 bond. The Inspector General calls the death of Stephen Jones unjustified. Magnano's attorney says he had no other choice. Watching the body camera footage, you see Magnano arrive at the scene where 3 officers had already spent several minutes trying to de-escalate. Jones was holding a knife, having a mental health crisis. About 30 seconds after Magnano got there, he shot Jones 9 times. Magnano has since been fired from the Hartford Police Department by the city's mayor, but his attorney says he did nothing wrong. He spoke with Channel 3 exclusively, telling us Magnano was following his use of force training and was trying to keep everyone safe.
Officers have tunnel vision when they're at a scene and someone's approaching them with a knife. Their eyes are fixated on that knife. The person is walking towards him. The video plainly demonstrates he's walking backwards. He's at a distinct disadvantage.
Now, high-profile civil rights attorney Ben Crump has been representing the Jones family in this case, arguing that race had a role to play in this shooting. Now, today we will be inside the courtroom bringing you the very latest developments as they unfold. For now, though, your reporter live in Hartford, Anna Stansfield, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Anna, thank you.